She be watching my streams go up. She be calling me viral.
Man, I really do that shit. Asking for oil was crazy. Do it with passion. Twerk like a Brazil. Let's watch the video.
The sugar high lie. Every parent.
Alright, what's a lie? Sugar high.
Let's get right into it. Number 10. The sugar high lie. Every parent thinks giving their kids sugar turns them into a tiny tornado. But that idea is completely wrong. Scientists tested this. They gave some kids sugar, others got fake sugar, and neither the kids nor their parents knew who got what.
That's
the result
crazy.
was absolutely nothing. The sugar kids weren't any more hyper than the no sugar kids, but when parents thought their kids had sugar, they suddenly started seeing them as hyperactive.
Oh,
they
that's
watched their kids like
crazy.
hawks, waiting for any sign.
Yo, tell him again, Jay. Tell him again. Tell him again. Tell him Skype's peak. Tell him Skype. We broke with Skype around here, bro. Skype top 5 arcs. Better than Wano. Better than Wano. Better than Wano.
Kind of energetic behavior. Kid jumps once, they blame the sugar. Kid
Ooh.
laughs, sugar rush.
So they've
This whole
just
thing started back in the 1970s when a doctor claimed food additives were making kids hyperactive.
So-
Parents jumped on that idea immediately.
That's
a kid bouncing off
crazy,
the walls
actually.
at a birthday party probably has more to do with being at a birthday party than the cake they just ate. They're excited, playing with friends, maybe sleep deprived. Those kids would be just as hyper if
You
you
have to
gave them
watch it.
sugar-free cake. Number 9, your brain isn't slacking off. You've probably heard that humans only use 10% of
Oh,
their brains.
this is the
That's about
dumbest
as true
one.
as saying
This is so
fish only
stupid.
use 10% of the ocean. This
Literally.
myth is so popular that Hollywood made entire movies about
Yeah,
it. The
bro.
ones where someone
You have to use 100% of your brain to. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. You have to use 100% of your brain to operate. Otherwise, you're just like, you're not operating. Yeah. You know.
takes a magic pill and suddenly they're
But
solved.
you do use some parts of your brain more than others. So, for example, if you have like bad memory, it's because that part of your brain isn't being used as much as the rest. So, if you were to get like an injury, say you were to get an injury at the part, I don't know, the part of your brain that makes you, it makes your pinky finger move, right? Say that part of your brain was to get injured. To compensate for that, the part of your brain that you use less would be used more. So, oh, whatever, man. Not necessarily, no. It's like, it's just how your brain works. Like, it's how it's wired. If you were to get brain damage, not severe brain damage, obviously, but slight brain damage, the part of your brain that's used for memory would compensate for that and pitch in a lot more. So,
solving quantum physics while doing backflips. Your brain is already going full throttle all the time.
yep.
Scientists can watch brains light up in real time using special scanners, and they see activity everywhere, all the time. Even
Exactly.
when you're sleeping, your brain is working. It's controlling your breathing, managing your heartbeat, and replaying embarrassing memories. Your brain only makes up 2% of your body weight, but this overachiever uses...
Bro, what do you mean? Shut up!
20% of
Shut
your body's
up!
energy. That's like having a tiny
Skype here was a peak arc, bro.
heater that eats
I
all
want to
your
hear
electricity.
it.
If 90% of your brain was really doing nothing, evolution would have removed it ages ago. Nature doesn't keep useless stuff around. The proof is what happens when any tiny part of the brain gets damaged. Even a small injury can cause major problems. This 10% myth likely came from a Harvard researcher in the 1800s who said people weren't living up to their full potential. Then someone misinterpreted that to mean we only use 10% of
That's
our
so
brains.
dumb.
Number 8.
Yeah, it probably is Fishman Island the freak.
Pennies from heaven won't kill you. You've probably heard that a penny
Who
dropped
said
from
that?
the Empire State Building could punch through someone's skull.
Wait, can it actually not? I thought it would just go like straight through.
That's not true. When someone drops a penny from up high, it starts falling, picking up speed thanks to gravity.
Yeah.
But then air resistance kicks in.
Oh,
Air isn't
yeah.
empty space. It pushes back against anything moving through it too fast. The penny hits these air molecules and starts tumbling. By the time it falls about 50 feet, it reaches terminal velocity, which is just 25 miles per hour. That's slower than an average bicycle rider. Getting hit by a penny at that speed would feel like someone flicking you. Annoying,
Oh.
but not fatal. If you drop that same penny in a vacuum, like space, it would reach speeds over 200 miles per hour. But down here on Earth, you're more likely to get seriously hurt by a falling ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
Those are aerodynamic enough to act like tiny arrows.
Oh.
Number 7.
That okay, I didn't expect that one. You could kill someone with a penny. Okay. There you go. Yeah. John Wick over here.
Lightning's repeat offender status. The saying
Feige, you're sick, bro. You're sick.
lightning never strikes the same place twice is wrong.
It
The
does.
Empire State Building gets hit by lightning around 25 times every year.
That makes
There was a
sense.
park ranger named Roy Sullivan who got struck by lightning 7 different times.
Yeah.
They called him the human lightning rod.
I think I
He
heard about this
survived all
guy.
7 strikes.
Bro,
After
getting struck by lightning looks sick. Oh, wait, I want to show you guys this. Hold on. Bro, look at this though. Oh wait, I don't know if I can show it on stream because it's kind of detailed. But if I could get like something. Damn. Okay, that's not a real lightning strike scar. I don't think that one doesn't look real. That's nasty. Why does his body look like that? No disrespect. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm so sorry. That was so mean. That was really mean. Why did I say that? I want to show you the scars, but like, I'm scared that it'll get. Whatever, man. I'll just show it. That's what we're working with. Like, they look kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. What? I've showed it now. Clouds don't like this guy. Oh my god, Skype here reference. They see him walking and think, oh no. But yeah, it's like really detailed. It looks sick. I didn't even need to move the camera. But yeah.
the 4th strike, his co-workers started avoiding him during storms.
That's funny.
Lightning often hits the same tall objects repeatedly. If you're the
Was he a
tallest thing
tall guy,
around,
though?
like a lone tree in a field, you're basically a target during a storm.
That's
Lightning can strike miles
jarring.
away from the actual storm. These are called bolts from the blue because they can come out of a clear blue sky.
Imagine getting hit by a random bolt of lightning, bro. Like, you're just chilling and then
You
it
can be
just.
out there when the sky looks clear, and suddenly lightning strikes.
That's
Number 6,
insane,
Vikings
actually.
left their horns at home. Vikings never wore horned helmets into battle. This whole horned helmet
I heard
thing was
about
made
that,
up by
actually.
theater costume designers in the 1800s. They
That's
were
fair.
designing costumes for opera performances and thought horns looked dramatic. They accidentally created one of history's biggest fashion lies. Going
You're a piece. I'll
into
be a
battle wearing
target,
something
yeah.
that gives your enemy 2
6'5" over
perfect
here.
handles to grab is not practical.
That's
or the
true,
horns
actually.
could get stuck on tree branches
That's
during a
also
raid.
true.
The real Viking helmets that archaeologists have found were plain protective gear, maybe with a nose guard. They did find some horned helmets in Denmark, but these were from 3,000 years before the Vikings. These ancient helmets weren't for fighting. They were ceremonial, like an ancient crown. Some opera
Interesting.
costume designers from the 1800s likely saw these ancient ceremonial helmets and thought, perfect, let's make the Vikings wear these. Now millions
That's
of
fair,
people
that's
think
fair.
Vikings ran around with horns on their heads. Number 5, your razor isn't making you hairier. You've probably heard that shaving makes your hair grow back thicker
I have
and
heard
darker.
that.
That's
well,
complete
not
nonsense.
thicker, but
when you shave,
faster.
you're giving each hair a tiny flat top haircut. Imagine cutting a tree straight across with a chainsaw. That stump feels rougher than the natural tapered end of a branch.
Yeah.
Same thing happens with your hair. When
Okay.
it grows back, it feels thicker because you've created thousands of tiny flat-topped hair stumps.
Oh.
Scientists have studied this for decades. They found shaving has zero effect on your hair growth. Your hair's thickness, color, and growth rate are locked in by your genes. That razor isn't reprogramming your DNA. If shaving really made hair grow thicker, every balding guy would be shaving their head daily. We'd have found the cure for baldness in a can of shaving cream. But Jeff Bezos is still bald, despite being able to afford infinite expensive razors. The myth persists because the stubble feels convincing when it grows back. It's the same old hair, just with a blunt end. Number 4, swim whenever you want. Your mom probably told you to wait 30 minutes after eating before swimming,
Is that not a
warning
thing?
you'd get cramps and drown. This myth is so widespread, even lifeguards used to enforce it. But there's zero
Whoa.
evidence swimming after eating is dangerous. Not a single documented case exists of someone drowning because they ate before diving in. The theory was that after eating, blood rushes to your stomach for digestion, leaving arms and legs without enough blood,
That's
causing cramps.
kinda-
But our
that-
bodies can handle both digestion and swimming. You might get a minor cramp if you swim intensely right after a huge meal.
Yeah, that makes
Similar
sense.
to running after eating.
Yeah.
The American Red Cross confirms this isn't a real danger.
Oh.
Competitive swimmers actually eat during their training sessions.
That's crazy. So we've all just been lied to. Gyal call me Gimli, you know. Hey, shout out to
Maybe
Gimli.
don't
Shout out
eat
to
an entire
Gimli.
pizza right before intense swimming. Number 3.
Hi, Mummy.
Hi, darling.
Can I go over to Daisy's house to play?
Can I go to Royce's house?
We've just gone to pick up Lucia.
No one lives here. Wait.
What?
People who took Lucia plumbed it meticulously.
She seemed completely normal.
Something about all of this just feels really off. This
What?
was targeted.
Is this a TV
Everything is
show
gonna
or
be
is it
perfect.
a documentary? I got sucked in. I can't lie. It got very interesting. It's
Your
gonna
head
hit.
isn't a heat chimney. Your mom probably told you, put on a hat or you'll freeze to death. That whole, you lose 50% of your body heat through your head thing is nonsense.
Who said?
This
I've
myth
never heard
started with
that.
an old army survival manual claiming 40 to 45% of body heat escapes
That-
through
Dude, I leave it alone. It was interesting. It got my attention.
your head. But in their test, they dressed people in full winter gear and left their heads exposed. Of course, most heat escaped through their heads. It was the only part not covered. Your head makes up about 10% of your body's surface area,
Duh.
so it can only lose about 10% of your body heat. Heat loss is actually proportional to whatever skin is exposed.
That's
Your
fair.
head might feel extra cold because it has more blood vessels close to the surface.
That
but
makes
you're not
more
actually losing significantly more
sense.
heat there compared to other exposed
'Cause, like,
body parts.
in winter, your
the only
face
time
is
this advice actually
freezing.
makes sense is for babies and small kids. Their heads are proportionally bigger compared to their bodies, so they do lose more heat up there.
That makes
but
sense.
for adults, your uncovered arms will
Propaganda
lose just as
for
much
what?
heat as your
Oh,
uncovered head.
oh, because it's just repeating that.
Number 2, goldfish memory. Everyone says goldfish have a 3-second memory.
I thought fish had
That's
bad
complete
memory.
Nonsense. These fish are actually pretty smart.
What?
Scientists put goldfish in mazes. They not only solved them, but remembered the solution months later. These fish can even recognize faces. Imagine being a
What?
goldfish, swimming in your bowl, thinking, oh look, it's Dave again with the food. They can also learn
I thought-
tricks. Some goldfish trainers have taught them to do things like swim through hoops or play soccer. Some goldfish have
Bro.
learned to tell different pieces of music apart. And they can do all
That was a thing, wasn't it? Oh my god.
this with a brain smaller than a pea.
Yo,
Scientists
what's
think studying
good, Michael?
goldfish
That's the
brains might
goat
help us
right there. That's the
understand
goat.
and
Shout out
human
to
memory
Michael
better.
for real.
Number 1. Gum doesn't stick around for years. That story about swallowed gum staying in your stomach for 7 years is a lie.
I don't think that one's a lie. Hold on. Oh, it's fine.
When you swallow gum, it travels through your digestive system just like any other food.
Yeah.
The only difference is that your body can't break it down.
So-
Think of gum like corn kernels. It just passes right through.
But
Most
I
gum is out of your system within 1 to 2 days. It
what? I heard a story once that a girl died from she like her stomach like cramped up from all the gum she's chewed over the. I thought it was 7 years this entire time. No. So you're telling me I can just start swallowing gum now? Pause. I think. I don't know. You can't. Hold on. Yo, that's crazy. That's what happened to her. It could lead to an intestinal blockage. Swallowing a large amount of gum or many small pieces over a short period could. Okay, that's how she died. Her stomach got her intestines got all blocked up and she died. I heard a story about a boy who cracked his head open by swinging on his chair, but he put a wet paper towel on it so he could. Oh my god. Yeah, if I said yeah, you start swallowing. Stop freaking
doesn't
me.
stick to your insides. Your stomach is constantly moving and pushing stuff along. And
That
those
makes sense.
stories about gum causing problems. Unless you're swallowing huge amounts of gum constantly, you're probably fine.
Oh.
Humans have been chewing random stuff for thousands of years. Ancient Greeks chewed tree resin. Mayans chewed chicle. None of them died from 7 years of gum
fairs.
buildup. Gum won't stick in your stomach, but it can stick on sidewalks for years. That's
Oh.
all for today.
Was that? Oh, okay. That was pretty good. I like that. That was very interesting. Okay, now. Oh, now let's get to the. Hold on.
Let me just check this out.
Oh, black, she got stout. Got a bad bitch in my section and she rolling up that loud. Got 10 hoes on the couch. Keep running your mouth. They ain't